The hospital corridor hummed with the echo of distant footsteps and the faint buzz of fluorescent lights. Maya Wilson leaned against the cold wall, her breath ragged, palms scraped from the fall. The smell of antiseptic mixed with fear clung to her like a second skin. For a moment she thought she might pass out, until the tiny sob in her arms pulled her back. A small girl, no more than 5, buried her face in Maya's shoulder, trembling. The child's white sweater was torn, one shoe missing, tears streaking her rosy cheeks. Maya whispered softly, "It's okay, sweetheart. You're safe." Only minutes earlier, Maya had been at the hospital pharmacy window, pleading with the clerk. "Please," she begged, sliding her last crumpled bills forward. "It's my mother's insulin. I'll pay the rest by Friday." The man behind the counter didn't even look up. "No payment, no medicine. Hospital policy." Her voice cracked. "She'll die without it." "Then maybe she should have planned better," he muttered coldly, turning away. Humiliation stung more than hunger. Maya picked up the useless prescription slip and walked out, her body shaking. Her world had already fallen apart. Rent due, her job gone, and her mother fading in a one-room apartment that smelled like old soap and worry. She had just stepped into the stairwell when she heard the voice. Light. Laughing. A little girl chasing a candy wrapper fluttering in the air. "Sweetheart, wait!" Maya called out instinctively. The child turned, lost her balance, and slipped. Maya ran, no time to think. Just motion, just instinct. Catching the child's waist mid-air as they tumbled down the stairs. Pain exploded through her shoulder, but she twisted her body to shield the girl. They hit the landing hard. Silence. Then a cry. Maya's breath came in gasps as she checked the little one's limbs. No breaks, no blood, only shock. Relief made her dizzy. Footsteps thundered from the upper floor. A man's voice tore through the silence, low, panicked. "Emma!" He appeared like a storm. Tall, broad-shouldered, in a tailored coat, his face carved with fear. He dropped to his knees, scooping the child from Maya's arms. "Sweetheart, are you hurt?" Emma shook her head through tears. "I'm okay, Daddy." He pulled her close, exhaling as though he'd been holding his breath for years. When his eyes finally met Maya's, gratitude and confusion tangled together. "You saved her," he said, voice thick. Maya stood slowly, wincing at the pain in her shoulder. "I just saw her fall." "You risked yourself for a stranger," he interrupted. "That's not something people do anymore." Maya forced a small smile. "Guess I didn't get the memo." He studied her. The exhaustion beneath her eyes, the torn sleeve, the quiet pride holding her upright. Something about her didn't fit this sterile, perfect world. "I'm Graham Mallory," he said finally, offering his hand. "You're?" "Maya," she replied softly. "Thank you, Maya." His grip was warm, steady. "You could have been badly hurt." "I've been worse," she said, trying to sound casual, though the tremor in her voice betrayed her. Little Emma peeked from his shoulder. "You smell like soap," she said through sniffles. Maya laughed weakly. "Probably because I fell on the hospital floor, honey." Graham smiled faintly, relief softening his sharp features. Then almost out of nowhere, his next words sliced through the tension like a blade. "Pretend to be my wife," he said quietly. Maya blinked, stunned. "I'm sorry, what?" He took a breath, voice calmer now, almost pleading. "I know how that sounds, but just listen for a second. My daughter, she called you Mommy. She hasn't said that word since her mother passed. Her birthday's next week and she's been having nightmares, waking up crying for someone who isn't coming back." He looked down at Emma, who was now clutching his sleeve. "I just want her to feel safe again. For 1 week, I'll take care of everything." "You won't owe a thing." Maya's heartbeat roared in her ears. "Sir, I don't even know you." "That's why I'm asking," he said quietly. "You didn't hesitate to save her. You cared. You didn't look for a reason." She shook her head. "I can't. I have my mother to think of. Her medicine, her bills. I'll pay for all of it," Graham interrupted softly. "Her treatment, her medication, and I'll give you $100,000. No tricks, no conditions. Just 1 week the world seemed to tilt." Maya's knees weakened. "Why me?" she whispered. "Because when Emma looked at you," he said, voice breaking, "she smiled. Really smiled. And I haven't seen that in years." The corridor fell silent except for the faint hum of lights overhead. Maya glanced at the child. Those small, trusting eyes. Something inside her shifted. 1 week, she murmured finally. Graham exhaled as if the air had been trapped in his chest. 7 days, he confirmed, extending his hand again. This time, she took it, a deal born not of paper but of desperation and something far more fragile, hope. As their hands met, both knew nothing about this would feel pretend. That same night, Maya sat in the back seat of a black SUV headed toward a mansion she never dreamed existed. Unaware that the next 7 days would change everything she thought she knew about love, trust, and danger,